Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
The right-wing Nationalist Party Alternative for Germany have pushed Angela Merkel's ruling Conservatives into third place in a regional election. The party, founded 3 years ago, started as an anti-Euro party, but it's turned its focus to anti-immigration and Islam. It now has delegates in more than half of Germany's state parliaments. Last night's elections come as a stark warning that Merkel's immigration policy is not uniformly popular with the German people. It was an invitation that put the world's migrants on the move and encouraged and confounded Europe. Angela Merkel's offer to receive 1 million refugees was as bold as it was complicated. She's been lauded for a humane response to a world in turmoil and vilified for creating a situation seemingly without end, as thousands upon thousands left their homes and headed to the New Jerusalem, this time Berlin. But after a summer of terror, Germany is a country now looking at itself in new ways and wondering if that largesse was badly aimed. The elections this weekend, though small in scale, suggest the start of a backlash against Merkel's plans and against her party. Just look at her personal approval rating. It's taken a real battering, from a high of 75% as recently as last April to 54% and 49% in the months following the decision to take in hundreds of thousands of refugees. And after briefly recovering following the Brexit vote, Merkel's rating plunged to a 5-year low in the wake of this summer's attacks. But today, Merkel was resolute and stood by her refugee policy.
Of course, the result is related to our refugee policy. I'm party chair, the chancellor, and in the eyes of voters, you can't separate those roles. And I'm of course responsible. I nevertheless believe the decision on refugees was right. And now we must continue to work at it.
Well, even so, any further ratings dips for Merkel and her party could put next year's national elections and the way Merkel chooses to fight them on a very different footing. A little earlier, I spoke to Beatrix von Stock, MEP and deputy leader of the AfD, and I started by asking her whether opposition to Merkel's refugee policy was due to the sheer numbers of new arrivals or fear of cultural change in Germany.
If it comes to migration politics, it's both. It's the complete numbers which already came. This is the first problem. We are not able to integrate so many people within our labor market and within our society. This is not possible just by the number. And because it's not possible to integrate those people because they are not making part of our cultural background. So we see that we can't run our social welfare state on the same standard. We can't keep our standard if we try to integrate into this standard millions of other people.
So it's not about Islam specifically?
Well, Islam, of course, plays a role because the majority of people coming to us are from Islam background, are Muslims. So, and this makes it even more difficult to integrate the people. This is what we experienced in the past. It's not that this is the first time. We've got already lots of migrants who came lots of years ago. They integrated well, but others not. And we can see that those coming from Islam background is always much more difficult to integrate them into our society than other cultures.
You would say then your party has a specific problem with Islam, is that right?
The German society has a specific problem. Our claim saying Islam does not belong to Germany is supported by something like 30 to 35% of German people. So this is not something which is only in our mind. People are voting for us because we have that line very clear.
Your party said some time ago that German police should be allowed to shoot at refugees illegally entering Germany. Do you stand by that?
No, we made very clear that we don't want to shoot at anybody, and this is why specifically we ask our Chancellor to stop cooperating with Mr. Erdogan from Turkey to protect our borders. But what we can see in Europe at the moment is that there's one single guy.
What do you mean you don't want to shoot at anyone? You did say that, and now you don't believe it?
No, we made the point very clear. We don't want to shoot at anybody, and that what we can see is that one can protect its borders without using a gun. The only one who's using a gun, who's killing people and children, this is Erdogan. This is the one Merkel has handed over our border control. And our point is very clear. We want to protect our own borders, and we do not need guns for that.
Why did you say that then? Was that a mistake?
It was, we made it clear that we don't want to shoot at anybody.
But you said it in the first place.
What we said is it needs the political will to protect its own border. We can see that all the states who have now closed down the borders do not use guns.
Do you think that policy will spell the end for Angela Merkel? You've done well this time round, but you're not in first place yet, and there are many places you don't have seats.
What we say is that this is the beginning of the end of Angela Merkel. We've just we just came in second in the federal state where Angela Merkel comes from, so it's her home place where we won. We came in second. We don't have the majority of the votes yet, and what we see, of course, is that the politics is shifting, at least into our direction, that even CDU and CSU are making more and more points that we have in our program already, because they see that people want to have the politic taking another direction, basically the opposite direction of what the Chancellor is taking. So we have an impact on the politics already. You're right, we have not yet gained the majority of the votes, but if the Chancellor sticks to a line, that will happen rather sooner than later.
Beatrix von Storck, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I've been getting